Last year, I had some real lows, like some real lows. We really went almost to rock bottom and back up. And during that time, I had to really figure out how to manage the way that I felt, manage my mental health, and just try and work towards being a happy and good version of myself. And along the way, I found a lot of habits and tips and tricks that actually have changed my life. And I'm so excited to share them with you because they're so much more attainable than what a lot of the self-help people tell you, which is like waking up at 5 a.m., journaling every day, this, that. Like, these are just things that you can actually implement practically into your life, and I really hope they help you like they have helped me. The first habit is set a social media screen time limit. I know that sounds scary. It definitely was hard, like, I'm not gonna lie, but what I did was I set a screen time limit for 1 hour a day. So I get 1 hour on social media a day on my phone, and I actually asked my boyfriend to set my passcode. So if there's ever a time when I'm considering breaking that and I'm like, I really want to go on Instagram right now, I have to physically ask him for my password, which for me is just like another level of accountability. Do you really want to ask him? Is it really worth asking him? It makes me realize my habit and how addicted I am to social media. So by the time it comes to asking him, usually I don't do it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I cheat, but for the most part, it's been like such an amazing system of keeping me off social media for majority of the day. The next one is also social media, and it is unfollow people. Just unfollow people. Don't overthink it. If you have someone that you know that you don't like their content, or someone that you feel like you have to follow, unfollow them. Your social media is your space. Don't forget that. Like, you set the rules, you set your own boundaries, and if you want to unfollow someone, just unfollow them. Don't follow people you don't want to follow. It is literally that simple. The next one is daily exercise. Now, I have struggled with this so much. So what I do now is I go for a 20-minute walk every morning, because then if I don't end up doing anything else, at least I've moved my body somewhat. But on most days, I will try and do some form of other workout. What I recommend doing is putting the time that you're going to work out in your planner or your diary, because then it's just a part of your schedule. And also find something that works for you. I have gone through so many phases. Like, I went through a phase where I went to the gym and I did like proper weights. I've been through a running phase where I trained for a half marathon. I've been through yoga phases, and now what's working for me is I do at-home Pilates. I use Move with Nicole, and she is amazing. So find something that you love, and if you need to change it up every day, that's totally fine. Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy, and we all want to be happy. We all want to be as happy as we possibly can. So it's an easy way to get there, even if you feel like you're genuinely dying in the process. The next one is eat as plant-based as possible. And I say as plant-based as possible for many reasons. I have been a vegan for about 5 years. I used to wear that label like a badge. I was like, really, I was very vegan. I went vegan for ethical and environmental reasons. And I do really recommend a predominantly plant-based diet if you can, with your health and everything. I say be as plant-based as possible because this year, or last year actually, I started craving eggs, and I started craving eggs so badly. I cannot even tell you. It's all I could think about. I was like obsessed with the idea of eggs, and the weirdest part is I didn't even like eggs that much before I went vegan. I honored the feeling. I tried really hard to work around it, to have like scrambled tofu and whatever, but then I was like, do you know what? I can't shake this. I'm actually just gonna eat an egg. Just eat a fucking egg. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And I did that, and I think in a lot of ways that was very symbolic, because it kind of like released me from this label I had put myself in, and this box I'd put myself in. I think sometimes you just need to take the pressure off yourself. Like, if you really want to be a vegetarian but you don't think you can do it, just have like 3 veggie meals a week. Like, take the pressure off. Sometimes you need to just eat a fucking egg. Just do your best, because you're human, you're gonna make mistakes, and don't put so much pressure on yourself and box yourself in. Just literally do your best. The next thing I've done that has seriously improved my mental health, and you guys know this because I talk about it all the time, is I started a passion project. If you have the time, if you have the capacity, the capability, the money, whatever it is that you need for your passion project, try and start something, whether it's literally starting a business, or whether it's learning how to draw, or whether it's making a short film, or crocheting a beanie for your nephew. Do something, because investing your time into something that has no monetary value, it's literally just a passion project, it gives you so much purpose. It fulfills you, it gives you skills, but also you're not tying that to money. It's not a job. It might become a job, but it's not a job. It's just something that you're doing because you genuinely are so passionate about it. For me, channeling my creative energy into this YouTube channel has been so fulfilling and life-changing. It gives me structure, it gives me purpose, it keeps me motivated, it makes me laugh. I've also learned a lot of new skills from this as well. And your passion project might literally just stay as a passion project, but it also might give you a new sense of purpose in your life. It might help you find a career trajectory to go down. Who knows what it will do for you, but I know that it's been the best thing I've ever done. And I really hope that you can find something that you're passionate about as well, because it truly is just life-changing for mental health. This one probably sounds so dumb because you already, I'm sure, know this, but I saw this guy on TikTok. He was giving advice to his 20-year-old self. He said, you can just leave. You don't have to stay. And I was like, the amount of like events, parties, dinners I've been to that I have been just dying to leave the whole time, or I didn't want to go. You are in control of your life, like just leave. It sounds so simple, but I've just never lived my life like this. You don't have to go, you can leave. You can go home and go to bed early. You can change your mind and go and then leave. Like obviously it is situational and you don't want to burn bridges. Like you probably shouldn't leave your wedding, for example, but for the most part, you should be limiting doing things that you don't want to do because life is too short. So my friend actually told me this one, but if you're ever faced with a big decision, actually any decision in life, and you're not sure what to do, you should choose what will help you grow over what will make you happy. Because sometimes you have to do something that will make you feel sadness or anger or guilt in the short term, but it will make you happy and it will help you grow in the long term. A good example for this is, let's say you're in a relationship and you have started to see your partner as more of a friend. If you chose what made you happy, you would probably stay with them because you don't want to make them feel sad, you don't want to feel sad, you don't want to feel guilty. But if you choose what will help you grow, what will help both of you grow, it would be to end the relationship. Because yes, you'll feel sad in the short term, but actually in the long term, you're going to be fine and you're both going to find happiness. I think this way of thinking about decisions is really good if you're comfortable, because if you're comfortable in a relationship or you're comfortable in a job or you're comfortable with where you're living or whatever, sometimes being comfortable actually stops us from doing things that we really need to do to grow. And if we focus on what makes us happy all the time, we might actually never end up making moves and changes that are actually necessary to get us where we need to go in life. The next thing that's been so good for my mental health is taking time off. This obviously will be different for everyone because we all have different schedules, different financial situations, all of that. I work part-time and I treat this YouTube channel as a job. So I basically work 5 days a week. I could work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day and still feel like there's more to be done. I think that's just what happens when you are working for yourself. I personally now choose to take weekends off because I come into a new week now just feeling so much more motivated and refreshed. Whereas if I didn't take any time off, that is literally a one-way ticket to burnout. Like, I've been burnt out before and it's not a good time. Taking weekends off might not be possible for you if you have a crazy job or if you have kids. So maybe you can take like a Sunday morning off, or maybe you can take 2 hours after work where someone else watches your kids or whatever it is, whatever your situation is, and you just have like a super long bath and you watch a YouTube video or something. We aren't machines, so if you keep going, you will burn out. That's just how it works. At some point, whether it's in a week or in a year, you will burn out and it will not be fun, trust me. The next one is an online shopping habit. So I am a sucker for an Instagram ad. I just really am vulnerable to purchasing things because I constantly feel like I don't have enough, my wardrobe's not good enough, I'm not keeping up with the trends, like whatever. I'm the perfect target audience for any kind of influencer campaign or ad. So what I now do is I have a wish list. I have a note on my phone and my computer. Whenever I swipe up and want to impulse purchase, I will save the link in my wish list, and then 2 weeks later, I will come back to that wish list and I will see if I still want that thing. If I still want it after the 2 to 3 weeks, then it's no longer an impulse purchase. They're not like playing on my vulnerability anymore. I genuinely want the thing, and so I might buy it if I have the money to do that. But most of the time, I'll come back and I'll realize that I already have a black top, or I don't really want to spend that amount of money on that piece of clothing. There are better things to spend my money on, and I won't buy it. But then sometimes I do buy them and I love the clothes that I've bought. So there's always a balance, but it's just about trying to take the impulse purchasing away from your online shopping, because that's what they want you to do. These advertisers are paying so that you swipe up and shop immediately. So just try and beat the system in that way and take care of yourself and your money. The last habit is probably the best thing for when I'm feeling really sad or anxious or just unmotivated, and that is video diaries. I hate Zoom, I hate FaceTime. It's just not the same. Like I have a block with it, and I just really don't like to catch up with people that way. At the beginning of COVID, so about March of 2020, my best friend and I started sending each other video diaries. If you have an iPhone, iMessage lets you send 4 minutes and 30-second videos, and we basically just started sending each other like updates on our day or what's happening in the news. It just was such a nice outlet to talk to someone and kind of feel like you're being heard without interruption. We actually haven't stopped since. Literally just this morning I was listening to her video diaries to me and I made some back. So we now send each other multiple videos a day. I reckon we send each other like 8 videos a day, and it's honestly just like free therapy. We hear each other out. It's a safe space. We can talk about anything, and it's just been so nice to express ourselves in that way. I know it's changed her life too. Like it's just been so amazing. So if you have a friend who you're really close with or someone who you want to get closer with, I cannot recommend it enough. It's brought us so much closer together. I hope this helped you. I hope you try some of them, honestly, because they really have helped. I know sometimes we can watch these videos and be like, I'm gonna try that one day, and then you never do it. But I do think these things are really attainable, and like you probably already are interested in doing most of these, like spending less time on your phone, exercising, blah, blah, blah. So just like take baby steps, try one thing and see how you like it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Sunday with a new one. Bye.